of December, and then went on the road to play a really tough matchup with the with Wartburg College and with the Washington University Bears. Washington University, of course, in St. Louis. The Yellow Jackets lost their first game of the year when they dropped that contest against Wartburg, but they turned it around nicely with a win over WashU. And certainly those two programs are among the best in the country this year. Wartburg is a top 10 program right now. 2 years ago, they went 31-1 and lost in the National Final Four, their only loss of the year. WashU every single year is among the best in the country. They're a top 25 team again. So good showing for the Yellow Jackets at 9-1 through their first 10, and now they're ready to dive into the heart of conference play the rest of the way. Meanwhile, Capital is hot. After a 3-3 start, they've won 4 in a row, beating Muskingum, Ohio Northern, Goucher, and Oberlin. And so they are 7-3 on the season. In conference, 2-1, losing to Otterbein, and then those 2 wins over Muskie and the Polar Bears. Referees today, Nick DeCesar, Tony Capasso, and Bob Demonico. Jackets in gold, Crusaders in purple, and off we go here in Berea. Give you the starting lineups in just a moment. As the Yellow Jackets taken on the offensive end with Kara Marshall in the corner. Marshall spinning back to her right, needs some help. This is Riley Schill. Riley still the team's leading scorer, 10 games in at a little more than 12 points per game. Casey Hughes missed the rebound, and Megan Scheibelhut got jammed up. Jump ball. It's going to Capital. So it's Casey Hughes, Riley Schill, Kara Marshall, Hannah Fecht, and Megan Scheibelhut, the starting lineup for the Yellow Jackets. And for Capital, senior Cassidy Bosch is going to play in the post. Good dish underneath to Ellie Watchman, but it was rejected by Scheibelhut. Brooke Omert, Caroline Taphorn, and Emma Burns also starting for the Crusaders. Not playing today, at least as we understand it, is Reagan Stonerock, who is their senior and pretty arguably their best returning player this year. That one's out of bounds off Capital. Anyways, it was certainly disappointing for the Capital Crusaders to have Reagan Stonerock get injured a couple of weeks ago. She's only played in 6 of the games so far this year, 85 games throughout her career. She's such an important piece for this team, but for whatever reason, not able to go here, and try not to give away injury information over the air, protect the student athletes in that way. But there's no doubt that Dixie Jeffers' team misses Reagan Stonerock. There'll be a Yellow Jacket inbound here. No score, just over a minute in. Marshall hands to Hannah Fecht. Hannah kicks to Riley Schill, 4-3. Well done by Baldwin Wallace, and they're on the board first. There's a Yellow Jacket team that shoots the 3 ball okay. Not terrific, but not bad. Just a little bit over 30% on the season. That one's lobbed underneath and fell out of bounds out front of Ellie Watchman. How about these two coaches? They are the 2 best coaches in the history of Ohio Athletic Conference women's basketball. Dixie Jeffers is in her 34th year at Capital. Her overall record is unbelievable as the Jackets draw foul. Coach Jeffers enters today with 677 wins, 242 losses while leading the Crusaders. But she also coached for 3 years at Rio Grande, which was an NAIA program. And Riley Schill turns it over. And if you add her record from her time at Rio Grande, 729 victories as a head coach, 263 losses. She's one of only 13 male or female basketball coaches of all time to hit 700 career victories as a college coach. Pretty remarkable. And both she and Sherry Harrer are in Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame. Little jump shot gets Capital on the board. It's 3-2. The Yellow Jackets come back up the floor with a 1-point lead, thanks to Emma Burns for Capital. On the other side, Sherry Harrer, not too shabby herself, 593 wins, 222 losses in her 30th season here in Berea. 7 wins shy of the 600 mark, which she will very likely get later on this season. Depending on how things go, it could happen in January. You certainly like the chances of it coming during the regular season, given the way this team has played. Little jump shot from the left baseline, didn't fall in for Burns. Putback didn't go either, and Scheibelhut harassed when grabbing that rebound. You don't often see Megan bringing the ball up the floor, but out of necessity there, did so. It was pretty good defense from Watchman. And effect, called for a carry. Lily Edwards, Gabby Garrett, and Sydney Snyder all checking on for BW as Caroline Taphorn gets ready to inbound the basketball. Capital's program is so rich with history in the last 30-plus years now that Dixie Jeffers has been there. 10 times they've won the regular season title. 10 times they've won the OAC Tournament Championship. And effect for three, puts it in the corner. And the Yellow Jackets, with a couple of triples, have a 6-2 lead. Capital's been in the NCAA tournament 13 times. And of course, they won a couple of national titles back in the early 90s. Good play there. Easy bucket for Omert. Brooke Omert out of Western Reserve High School, Wakeman, Ohio. Capital won it all back-to-back years, the 93-94 season, and then the following year, 94-95. Garrett underneath, and it doesn't drop in. They were the national runner-up the year before they won their first title, and they were the third-place finisher in 96-97. It was a bright spot for Capital Crusader basketball. Good fake from Burns. She tries to drive, and it doesn't really work out for her. Get a substitution here, and wouldn't you know it, it's Reagan Stonerock. How about that? So Reagan Stonerock, who has played very little the last couple of weeks, makes an appearance here this afternoon. She started the first 5 games of the year, but has only played 12 minutes since December 7th. Well, certainly glad to see that she is healthy enough to be back on the floor. When she's at her best, Capital's a different kind of team. They're very good. Couple of changes both ways here. Allison Roach coming on. Kaylee Cyphers checks in. Yellow Jackets make a change too, with Megan Hensel coming in for the first time. About halfway through the first quarter. It's 6-4 BW. Neither team is shooting it great here at the outset. Jackets have hit 2 of 5, Capital 2 of 7. We get whistles underneath the basket. And 2 shots coming for Lily Edwards. First foul on Cyphers, team third. And the reigning Ohio Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year, Lily Edwards, steps to the free throw line. Lily has come off the bench for the Yellow Jackets in every game this year. And somewhat, for some reason, in part because of Megan Scheibelhut's growth. Scheibelhut has had a pretty good season, playing about 12.5 minutes per game and starting post player. Plus Lily gives them a really nice dimension coming off the bench. Edwards is averaging almost 9 points a game and 5 rebounds per contest in less than 15 minutes. In the middle of the key, it goes back out. This is Stonerock circling around, and she throws it away. It was deflected off of Riley Schill. Capital, for as impressive as their history is, obviously the teams of the 90s were pretty darn good. Haven't been quite as good lately. certainly not that good. Shot clock expires, and the jump shot good. Excellent look from Emma Burns. Quickly up the floor, Edwards got it, and then put it in. Need a little second effort. 4 points for Lily Edwards. It's 10-6 BW. And the Jackets are called for a foul underneath the rack. Yeah, Capital, over the last 9 seasons, they only have one 20-win season, which is kind of odd considering the long-term success that they've enjoyed here. All right, both free throws good for Cassidy Bosch. And the Jackets bring Kara Marshall back on the floor, and for the first time, Sydney Diedrich checks in. Crusaders coming off a 16-10 season. They were 11-7 in league play last year as Hensel tries a three and puts it in. 3 triples for the Yellow Jackets in the first quarter. And it's a 5-point lead, 13-8. Lobbed into the low post. That's off Stone Rock's hand, out of bounds. Casey Hughes checking in for the Jackets. She comes in for Snyder. You might remember last year the Yellow Jackets were the 2 seed in the conference tournament and were upset by Ohio Northern, the 7 seed. Capital was the 4 seed in the tournament last year, and they lost a home game to Otterbein in the OAC quarterfinals as Kara Marshall gathers one off the floor and banks it in. It's 15-8 BW, and Gabby Garrett's called for a foul. So both these two teams were knocked out of the OAC quarterfinals last year. But the Yellow Jackets' resume was good enough to get them into the NCAA tournament, where they won a game on a buzzer beater before bowing out to Messiah in the second round of the tournament. Jackets lead by 7, 3 minutes left and change here in the first quarter. Burns with a left hand, nicely done. She's got 6 in the first quarter, averaging about 12 a game. Marshall. And she's fouled. All right. Well, the Crusader faithful certainly don't like the call. Pretty good crowd here on hand today. Glad to see the teams well supported on this first Saturday of the new year. Sydney Diedrich off the inbound. Makes it 17-10, her first points. Diedrich in her junior year out of Gilmore Academy out on the east side. From the left elbow. Work it back out. Cyphers bounces left-hand side now. Good drive down the left lane, but didn't fall in for Bosch. Hensel. As it deflected, that's good hustle, but not enough to keep it in play. Brooke Omert, Ellie Watchman, both checking back in here. And it looks like Allison Roach will remain on the floor. Samantha Seck also comes in. First time we've seen the senior from Hilliard. Marshall. Going to work on the right block. No basket. They call her for a travel. The Jackets loved the effort under there, but apparently she shuffled her sneakers. Okay, so it's 17-10 BW. This is the 83rd all-time meeting between Capital and Baldwin Wallace. And historically, Capital has the better of the two, but not lately. Capital leads the all-time series 50-32. But Baldwin Wallace has won 7 in a row. Last time Capital beat the Jackets was on January 9th, 2016, the first of 2 games in the 2016 regular season. Turn around and score. Well done for Watchman. Diedrich. Hands it to Casey Hughes with minute 38 left. Diedrich wants a 3-ball. Hits off the heel of the rim, and Hannah Fecht grabs the offensive board. Outstanding effort. Marshall kicks back out for a Hensel 3. And a foul on Hannah Fecht. You know, we talk about some of the tournament success and certainly the outstanding play in the conference from both these teams over the years. Ironically, it's been a long time since they've played each other in the OAC tournament. Last time these 2 teams played in an OAC tournament game was the 2015 OAC championship, which just so happened to be the last time the Jackets won the OAC title. Darting through the lane, Erica Linder had to give it up. Turned into a missed 3 from Roach. And Fecht with the rebound, and we're inside a minute in the first. Fecht is open. She's awfully good from behind the line. That one rattled in and out. It was deflected out of play. It stays on this end. Cassidy Bosch and a Burns check in. And Megan Scheibelhut back for the Jackets. So we're 42 seconds and counting here in this first quarter. On the right side of the floor, Burns. 10 to shoot. Bosch open, misses short. And Scheibelhut pulls in the miss. Shot clock is off here, and the Yellow Jacket bench is telling Riley Schill, hold for the last shot. Jackets lead by a handful, 17-12. 5 seconds. Fecht underneath, Scheibelhut catches and missed the layup right underneath the basket, but couldn't put one in at the buzzer. All right, so 10 minutes down, 10 to go in the opening half, and the Jackets have a 5-point lead, 17-12 here in Berea. All right, 10 minutes complete in our afternoon contest between Capital and Baldwin Wallace. It's the Yellow Jackets 17 and the Crusaders 12 through the first 10. Jackets have hit 6 of 14 from the floor. Capital 5 of 13. Neither team has missed from the free throw line. Perhaps the difference in the game right now, Yellow Jackets have hit 3 of 6 from behind the three-point line. Hannah Fecht trying to add to that, but misses too long. Leading scorer in the game, Emma Burns with 6 points. Lily Edwards has 4 for BW to pace the Jackets. This is Bosch in the corner. Bounces into the post. Little dance from Omert. Gives to the corner, and then Casey Hughes picks away an errant pass. Hughes trying to go coast to coast with it and was fouled. So Burns picks up her first personal and team first foul of the second quarter. There are some other games going on around the OAC this afternoon as Hughes cans the first foul shot. I'll try to get you some updates from those other games. One of them has already gone final. Hughes hits them both. The final is kind of a surprising win, at least in my opinion. Mount Union loses to Heidelberg 64-60. Purple Raiders fall to 0-4 in OAC play. The Jackets will play Mount Union on the road on Wednesday night. John Carroll's playing at Ohio Northern. First quarter complete there. Blue Streaks have an 18-15 lead over the Polar Bears. Marietta hosting Wilmington. Capital on the inbound here to Burns. Wilmington has a 2-point lead, 16-14, early second quarter of that game. And a jump ball called. It's going to stay on this end. So the other game is Muskingum and Otterbein. And it's the Cardinals with a 25-17 lead over the Muskies. The OAC standings in a second as we open up play in 2020 today. Capital trying to make something out of this possession. Oh, rejected. Great defense by Snyder. Schill right down Bagley Road. Can't hit it. Emma Burns races the other direction. How about a three from deep on the left-hand side, and it swirls in. Good shot. Well done by Erica Linder, freshman out of Prospect, Ohio. And the Jackets cough it up. Capital down 4, 19-15. They hand it to Watchman, and she bobbles the ball on the way to the basket. That one's apparently off Fecht with no foul call. Well, Sherry Harrer can't believe there wasn't a foul called there. 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. Another three, this time from the left-hand side, and it rattles away from Burns. Another offensive rebound. So Capital gets another chance here. Wow. Foul under the basket right as Capital was throwing it out of bounds. That's the second Yellow Jacket foul this quarter. All right, so the OAC standings up to date for you include BW and John Carroll with identical records atop the slate. Each team is 9-1, and both teams are unbeaten so far in league play at 3-0. Good steal there from Tiffany Bentler, who's on for the first time. Skip pass over the top, deflected out of bounds. Otterbein is also 3-0 in league action so far. Ohio Northern, Capital, and Wilmington all 2-1 in conference play. Heidelberg, with their win today over Mount Union, sends them to 1-3. Marietta and Muskingum 0-3. Mount Union now 0-4 in the league. Edwards turns around and missed it short. All of a sudden, the Jackets have gone cold from the floor. Each team with 4 turnovers. After what I thought was a pretty good first quarter shooting for BW. They've missed their first 3 here in the second quarter. Back up top for a moment. Driving down the right side. And the freshman can't quite get it to drop in there. Good effort, though, from Linder. She's going to get another crack at it and scores. Erica Linder having a pretty good game so far. 5 points for her. It's right about her season average. Approaching the midway point of the second quarter as Snyder misses from point-blank range. Edwards fighting for it. She's laughing at the fact that there was no foul called. Jackets try to get back and play some defense here as Burns pops a three. Hensel the rebound. Capital down by 2, 19-17. Snyder's three, no. Boy, this game is being played at a frantic pace at the moment. Edwards got stuffed. That was good defense. It'll stay with BW. Diedrich and Hughes come in. Reagan Stonerock checks on along with Kaylee Cyphers. Stonerock was honorable mention all conference last year. Of course, Capital graduated Aaron Reisner, who was their best player a year ago. First team all-league performer. Looks like Capital's going to make one more change. It's Linder that comes out, and Maddie Reese, freshman from Fairless High School in Navarre, Ohio. She's on. Off the inbound, Sydney Diedrich got whacked. And Diedrich will go to the free throw line. The Yellow Jackets have been truly one of the best in the country here in 2019, 2020. There are 450 teams that play Division III women's college basketball. The Jackets are 9th in the country from the free throw line. Their team free throw percentage through the first 10 games, 77%. And with those two from Diedrich, they're now 6 for 6 from the line this afternoon. Nice to know you can rely on that. Cyphers missed it short. Jackets by 4, 5:55 in the half. Fecht bounced it into a dangerous area toward Diedrich. Stonerock in transition. Roach the last to touch it, I thought, but I guess it went off a jacket. All right, Capital will inbound. Got it in just before the 5-second count. Stonerock has to back out. Reese fakes right, drives left, kicks to Burns. 12 on the shot clock. Oh, Stonerock rejected by Diedrich, and it fell off Reagan. What a defensive play. Outstanding. Jackets by 4. And Fecht with 7 to shoot. Diedrich wants to drive with a right hand down the left lane. No good. Emma Burns glances behind her at Dixie Jeffers to figure out what play they want to run. Capitals only hit 7 of 23 shots this half. The Jackets 6 of 21. Another turnover. Capital turns it over, back-to-back possessions. That's 6 now for them. Casey Hughes. Boy, her 3-ball was way too far to the right. And Capital calls timeout. Not a surprise that play stops here. 4:31 left, and both teams needed a break. Jackets lead the game by 4, 21-17 here in Berea. Back out on the hard court with the Yellow Jackets ahead by 4. Stone Rock's 3. It was well measured, but missed it off to the right. Neither one of these teams have been particularly clinical in their offensive output today. That's a traveling violation on Casey Hughes. The Jackets turned it over 6 times. Capitals turned it over 6 times. BW is shooting 27%. Capital is barely shooting 30%. But grinding it out. It's 21-17 late in the second quarter. Burns, a nice block shot and effect. Getting up tall. It's the 4th block shot for the Yellow Jackets so far. It's not a stat that BW typically excels in, but 4 different players have blocked shots today. I'm not sure what happened there from Watchman. That was a point-blank look. Missed it short. Riley Schill trying to carve her way through the key. Got her own putback. And then Scheibelhut gets a chance and coughs it up. My goodness. Addie Reese goes barreling into Casey Hughes, and she'll get 2 free throws. The Yellow Jackets learned their lesson when they were at Wartburg over the holiday break. They did not play very well defensively. And Wartburg is an outstanding team. And Wartburg punched him in the mouth. They beat him by 31, 79-48. But Jackets came out the next day and played a much better defensive game. And they beat a talented top 25 team from Washington University. Bosch comes back in. So it certainly was a good learning lesson for the Jackets that they're a good team. They've got a lot of upperclassmen, and they expect to contend for an OAC title and beyond this year. Schill denied on the baseline, finds Scheibelhut. And Megan couldn't score. Burns has it yard free. Good steal from Casey Hughes. A lot of steals and blocks today for the Yellow Jackets. That's their 5th pickpocket. How about from the left corner? Schill's 3. Nope. On days where you don't shoot the ball well, you have to be willing to stay committed to the defensive end. It's a good play from Emma Burns for 2. Burns has 8 and Capitals within 1, 21-20. Schill from between the rings. Casey Hughes here. Hensel from a long way out, puts it in. Big shot from Megan Hensel, her 2nd 3. Jackets 4 of 10 from behind the arc, and they lead 24-20. We're inside 2 minutes. Watchman for 2. And Riley Schill almost traveled with it. Love the way Casey Hughes competes. She plays so hard. It's been fun to watch her over the last several years. Remember when she was a freshman, you could tell that she had an awfully high ceiling. 2 seconds here. Casey catch and shoot. Oh, right on the money. 27-22. Boy, that'll suck the life out of the defense. Played 28 great seconds and then left Casey open. Good answer from Cassidy Bosch, but after giving up a 3, they don't want to do that. And then Hensel sets and misses just a little short. Capital could tie it with a three-pointer here. We've got 42 seconds left in the first half. Top of the arc. That three ball was deflected, and the Jackets can hold for the final shot of the half if they get possession here, and they don't. I thought Hannafect was going to pull that in cleanly. And the Crusaders will have a chance to draw something up. Now, because it stays with Capital, the Yellow Jackets would have to force a turnover in order to get another look at the basket. It's 27-24 with 27 seconds left before halftime. I think they're trying to figure out whether or not it was appropriate to have, well, maybe not. I was thinking they were wondering if it should be on the baseline or sideline inbound. It looks like Dixie Jeffers is asking for something different. The referees are over at the scores table with the official book. Maybe they're trying to decide whether or not that foul should be assessed or not. I mean, it was a jump ball on the floor. I don't know. We'll see. Well, Nick DeCesar, one of our three officials, is speaking with Dixie Jeffers and explaining why things are the way they are. I don't think anything changes here, though. It'll be Capital ball under the basket, and away we go. Burns from the corner. Dribbles it back up top. We're at 20 seconds. Cassidy Bosch, senior, beats Marshall off the dribble, goes right to the hoop. Kara Marshall picked her pocket, and an official from a long way away calls a foul. Holy smokes. Sherry Harrer is understandably upset how a referee that was 25 feet away saw a foul that an official standing right next to the ball did not. Lily Edwards is in for Sydney Diedrich. Well, the first free throw goes in. It's 27-25. Capital will send people back here. Bosch hits the second two. She's got 6 points. Jackets lead by 1, 10 seconds before halftime. Three seconds for Riley Schill. Marshall gets it off in time and bricks it off to the right-hand side. Good defense by Capital. So pretty competitive first half. Baldwin Wallace by 1 point, 27-26, as the teams head to their respective locker rooms. Yellow Jackets hit 8 of 31 from the floor. That's almost 26%. Capital not much better, 10 of 29. That's 34%. But of the 8 baskets BW scored in the first half, 5 of them were from behind the three-point line, which is why they have a 1 point lead, 27-26. Jackets have also been perfect from the free throw line, 6 out of 6, compared to Capital, 5 for 6. So we'll step aside briefly for about 15 minutes and bring you second half action coming up here shortly. You're watching the Yellow Jackets and the Capital Crusaders, BWYellowJackets.com.
most exciting thing any college?
Rachel, can you play the videos on the scoreboard? I don't know why. Jeff just told me. Jeff just texted me that. I don't know. Have they been playing? Oh, okay. All right, sorry.
Well, it's the start of the second half for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, and they are probably pretty happy to be out of the second quarter. Perhaps the adjustments they made in the locker room could help them out, because the second quarter for the Yellow Jackets was abysmal offensively. They hit 2 of 17 from the floor, but they were both three-pointers, and they hit 4 of 4 from the free throw line. And so they were only outscored by Capital 14-10 over the last 10 minutes. And the Jackets have still had the lead the entire game. But it's just a one-point game here, 27-26. BW is led by as many as 7. Here we go, start of the second half. Riley Schill, Hannah Fecht, Kara Marshall, Casey Hughes, and Megan Scheibelhut against Cassidy Bosch, Caroline Taphorn, Emma Burns, Brooke Omert, and Ellie Watchman. Hughes on the right wing. She's 1 out of 4 today, and she almost turned it over. Ends up being Kara Marshall open for 3. And she misfires. Here's Taphorn, who's a pretty dynamic player. Top to Emma Burns. First Saturday of 2020. Jackets hoping to start it on a good note. Riley Schill called for the foul as Burns drove to her left. Schill picks up her first personal. Nobody really in foul trouble. Gabby Garrett has 2. Taphorn and Kaylee Cyphers both have 2 for Capital, but nobody more than that. Well, that worked out a little too easily for the Crusaders, and they have their first lead. 4 points for Brooke Omert. More importantly, Capital out front 28-27. Schill from the left baseline doesn't go down. Jackets have now hit just 2 of their last 19 from the floor. On the right wing. Lobbed into the high key. Taphorn pulls out, dishes underneath. Watchman doesn't get it. And she takes Scheibelhut's legs out underneath her accidentally, but that's still a foul. Scheibelhut comes out. Lily Edwards returns. First foul on the Crusaders this half. It's Gabby Garrett going to come back in for Kara Marshall. All right, the Jackets go back to work. Garrett from the right elbow finds Lily Edwards underneath. Turns into a Riley Schill 3, finally. Jackets 30, Capital 28. Jackets chanting D it up, trying to get behind their defense. Watchman with a hand in her face, rejected. Now Garrett runs the show. Garrett got fouled going down the right side of the key. No shot. She'll inbound it on the baseline. Elsewhere around the OAC, Wilmington has a 44-36 lead over Marietta. Otterbein Cardinals are cruising over Muskingum, 47-25. Heidelberg already beat Mount Union today, 64-60. And the Ohio Northern Polar Bears have a 5-point lead over John Carroll, 38-33, 2.5 minutes into the second half of their game. That is ruled Capital basketball. Another BW turnover. So the Crusaders have it down 2. You might remember these two teams played a pretty tight game last year. Taphorn misses. That's off the Jackets. Last time these two teams met was actually on this floor after the Jackets beat Capital on the road earlier in the year. Baldwin Wallace held on for a 63-61 win here at home. The Crusaders tie this one up at 30. Gabby Garrett. Lily Edwards. And she's fouled on the floor. Erin Reisner was unstoppable last year. He had 31 points in that Yellow Jacket tight win. Jackets were led by Sydney Diedrich, who had 11. There's Casey Hughes. Edwards in and out. Burns. Stone Rock with the left hand, and she'll go to the stripe. Boy, this continues to be head scratching for BW offensively. Jackets were 6 of 14 in the first quarter. They are now 9 of 35 in the game. So 3 for their last 21 in the second and third quarters here. All 3 of them have been from behind the three-point line. Been able to add a few free throws, but the offense not good enough right now. Riley Schill backing down. This is Garrett over to Hughes. Hensel back up top. Edwards squares up, wants to drive baseline, up and under, missed it. Lily a little slow to get up. The Crusaders have numbers here. Stone Rock bounces into the key. It fortuitously came to Watchman, who missed it, but got it back. Second chance didn't fall either. Schill 4-3. Riley Schill puts it in. She's got 9 points, and the Yellow Jackets are living on razor's edge. They lead by 2. Stone Rock totally uncontested on her drive to the hoop. Ties it at 33. 5:20 to go in the third. Baldwin Wallace 9-1 on the season. Capital at 7-3. Both teams trying to start the turned over calendar with a nice win. Lily Edwards, you betcha. The hoop and the harm, and she'll go to the free throw line. That's a third foul on Ellie Watchman. And it forces Kaylee Cyphers off the bench. Meanwhile, Allison Roach returns. Bosch has a seat. Halfway through the third quarter, Edwards cans the free throw. Jackets 7 of 7 from the line. Edwards checks out. Sydney Diedrich back in. All right, moving along through the third quarter, the Jackets with a 3-point lead. Lob to Stone Rock on the give and go. She bounces back to Roach. Left corner Burns from 15 feet, pure. Snyder in the game, finds Diedrich open for 3. The Yellow Jackets can't seem to hit a 2, but the threes are falling. 8 of their 12 baskets from the floor have come from behind the three-point line. The lead is back to 4. Burns has it jarred free. 39-35. Hensel fakes and drives. And it's a blocking foul. That's the third foul on Kaylee Cyphers. Capital making a couple of changes here. Bosch comes back in. Omert comes back on the floor. Roach, Taphorn, and Stone Rock round out the Crusader crew. Hensel's missed free throw is the first Yellow Jacket miss from the line today. Splits the pair though. 40-35. Remember, BW's largest lead in this game is 7. They were trailing a few moments ago. Stone Rock turns it over. Snyder stepped in the lane. Riley Schill outruns the defense, finds Hensel, who gave an extra pass to Diedrich. The Jackets will have to run an offensive set here. 12 to shoot for Diedrich, 3:30 to play in the third. And Sydney traveled. Jackets are sharing it well. They've got 10 assists on 12 made baskets, but 8 turnovers are a bit alarming as Kara Marshall comes on for Riley Schill. Capital 7 assists on 14 made buckets. But these two teams have done it different ways. 13 of Capital's 14 baskets have come from inside the three-point line. Jackets have 8 of 12 from behind the line. Snyder back to Garrett. Approaching 3 minutes left. Good backdoor find. Hensel to Marshall for 2. The lead grows back to 7, and Capital wants a full timeout. It was an ugly stretch for BW. They hit 3 of 21 from the floor in the second and first half of the third quarter. But the Jackets have gotten back in a rhythm, and now they lead by 7. Tonight's Yellow Jacket basketball game brought to you by Jimmy John's in Middleburg Heights. We're freaky fast, so your sandwich arrives freaky fresh. Call us at 440-625-0745, or you can order online at jimmyjohns.com. By the Crown Plaza in Middleburg Heights, and by Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. I'm Brendan Gulick. Glad to have you on board here on this January 4th, Saturday afternoon, first Saturday conference game of 2020. Jackets have not played great, but have certainly had a better stretch here the last 3 minutes. They lead by 7 and now by 5 after Emma Burns puts in a long 2-ball. 12 for Burns, leading the way for Capital. In fact, she leads all scorers. Jackets have relied a lot on the 3-ball today because they have missed more layups than they probably care to count. Only 4 two-point baskets for BW in 28 minutes. But they've hit 8 threes They're 8 of 9 from the free throw line as Snyder got her hand in the passing lane. And Effect goes back up top. Hensel, Snyder, Diedrich, and Marshall out there too. Megan Hensel spins, doesn't get it. Fell away. Here come the Crusaders down 5. Dixie Jeffers telling her team to play with some pace here. Reagan Stonerock, only the second time she's played since the beginning of December. And Reagan, on a sloppy foul, has an easy layup plus a free throw. Edwards, Hughes, Garrett, all back in for BW. Erica Linder returning for Capital. Reagan Stonerock has a chance to make this a 2-point game. Misfires. So it's still 42-39 BW. 1:15 left in the third. Edwards double teamed, fought through it anyways, and missed it way over the rim. 1 minute to go, third quarter. Good defense from Marshall, it jarred free for a moment. Capital retains possession, Burns hits a 3-ball. Crusaders haven't taken many, but they're now 2 of 5 from deep. Marshall is wide open. Her answer comes up short. 42-42. 7 straight Crusader points. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Burns. Stonerock spins and gives Capital the lead. Jackets gonna hold for the last shot here. 5 seconds for Marshall, down by 2. Kara, Hughes, rejected. And the Capital Crusaders have played great defense the last 20 minutes and have forced BW into some tough spots. It's Capital by 2, heading to the fourth. Well, we've got a good ball game going. Capital with their largest lead of the afternoon, just a mere 2 points. It's 44-42. The Crusaders are on a 9-2 run to take the lead back after they trailed the Jackets by 7. Lobbed underneath. BW grabs another rebound. Jackets have been out-rebounded badly today. They are -9 on the glass as Capitals called for a foul. Hughes, Garrett, Fecht, Edwards, and Riley Schill for the Jackets. Garrett underneath. Edwards finds Fecht. Ricocheted off her hands and goes back to Capital. Remember, the Capital Crusaders haven't beaten BW since January 9th, 2016. 7-game win streak for BW over the Crusaders, who turn it over. That's Capital's 11th turnover. Jackets have given it away 9 times. Been a good day for Capital. They average about 17 turnovers per game. The Jackets average 14.5 turnovers per game, so fairly good by their standards too. Gabby Garrett wants to drive, and it's kicked by Stone Rock. Baldwin Wallace is 8 of 19 from behind the 3-point line. They are 5 for 26 from 2-point land, and the vast majority of those 26 attempts have come within a few feet of the basket. Riley Schill's 3 didn't go in. Give Capital credit, they're contesting the threes as best they can. Wow, Omert misses a layup she certainly wishes she had back. Schill to her left. Hughes underneath to Edwards, who turns around and misses short. Capital 44, BW 42. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to play. Hughes picks it away. Casey Hughes, easy 2 points. Tied at 44. Bosch, sweet move underneath. She spun it off the front of the rim. That's going back to BW. Last touch by Stone Rock. Hensel and Marshall return. Capital making a change. Ellie Watchman back in. So it's Hensel, Schill, Marshall, Hughes, and Diedrich against Taphorn, Stone Rock, Watchman, Burns, and Bosch. Casey Hughes open for 3. Put it up softly enough. But it fell away no good. Still tied at 44. Emma Burns crosses up Hughes. Casey fouls her. She tried to recover. Well, this is certainly the kind of game the Yellow Jackets expected from Capital. This Capital team is always disciplined and they fight really hard. That right-handed hook shot goes in. So the Crusaders have 17 points from Burns. Diedrich back to Hensel. Megan for 3 and the lead. She got it. 47-46. Hensel with 10. Megan Hensel having a great game. Marshall adds to it. 49-46. .637 to play. That one's deflected by Diedrich. Substitution here, Snyder coming back in. The Yellow Jackets will see Capital again on February 15th. That's pretty late in the season. It's the third to last game of the regular season. So it'll be a while before they play again. And certainly the Jackets are hoping they can keep this good run of play going. It's Watchman on a good design. Scores off the inbound. Snyder with a 1-point lead, 6 minutes to go. This is Riley Schill. Mishandled it, 5 to shoot. Fecht behind her back. Sidestep down the lane and scores. Thank you very much. Bosch threw it through Hensel's hands. Riley Schill doing her best underneath, but she fouled Ellie Watchman. The Yellow Jacket lead is 3, 51-48. Watchman goes to the line to shoot 2. Ellie on the year is about 67% from the free throw line. She hits the first. Give her 9 points on the game, 8 rebounds. She's been a handful. Got them both. Taphorn leaves, and Erica Linder returns. For the Jackets, Marshall, Fecht, Hensel, Diedrich, and Hughes now. Hensel leads BW with 10. Riley Schill has 9. She just checked out. 7 apiece for Hughes, Diedrich, and Edwards. Marshall with 6. 5 for Fecht. That rounds out the scoring. Capital wanted a double dribble, didn't get it. Hensel for 3. Oh my goodness. Megan Hensel ties a career high with 13 points. The Jackets have needed every one of them. 54-50. Casey Hughes tried to sell it. Hensel 4 of 7 from the floor, 4 of 6 from behind the three-point line. 13.6 rebounds. She is having a terrific afternoon. She also had 13 points against Skidmore earlier this year, and once last year as a freshman. Another Capital inbound coming. Hensel from Upper Sandusky. She is in many ways the future of this team at the guard spot. Given the senior guards the Yellow Jackets play every night. 5 on the clock. Burns, 4-3. Marshall grabs it. Hughes, Schill, Marshall, Fecht, all senior guards. That's why BW thinks they've got a chance to be very, very good this year. Travel on Marshall. I'm not just talking about OAC good. This team thinks they are Sweet 16 or better caliber. I think you can give them some serious credit for the way they have battled defensively today, especially during a day where they just haven't shot it well. Remember, they had a stretch where they hit 3 out of 21 shots during the entire second and first 4 minutes of the third quarter. They've never trailed by more than 2 points, though, and currently lead by 4. Another takeaway. And then a foul on Capital after their 14th turnover. Good sportsmanship from Watchman. That's the 4th foul, though, on Ellie. Timeout BW, and they'll take a full timeout. Yellow Jackets 54, Crusaders 50, and down we go with 4 minutes to go. Hang in there. Back in a moment. Baldwin Wallace by 4 over the Capital Crusaders. Our contest presented to you by the Cleveland Clinic Sports Health Division, the official healthcare provider for BW Athletics. By American International. You require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. And by the Courtyard by the Courtyard by Marriott and Town Place Suites in Middleburg Heights. A couple scores from around the league today on the ladies' side. Final score, Heidelberg 64, Mount Union 60. More in a minute. Hensel through the middle of the key. Work it back up top. And Effect to the right side. Inside 4 minutes remaining. 7 to shoot. Hensel spins through the lane, gets the layup off, but missed it. Scheibelhut on the putback, partially blocked. Here comes Linder. Capital down 4, 3.5 to play. Linder, good backdoor cut, and Bosch easily lays it in. 54-52. 8 points for Cassidy. We'll give you more scores at the next dead ball. And Effect. 3:05 on the clock, and we get a foul on Capital. Wilmington is out front of Marietta, 69-59, less than 4 minutes to go in the game. Otterbein pounding Muskingum, 61-39 with 4 minutes to play. And Ohio Northern leads John Carroll, 54-53 with 2:45 to go. Scheibelhut got it, a third chance for BW. Hensel on a career day couldn't put that one home. So the Crusaders could tie it or take the lead here. Loose. Jump ball. And it's going back to BW. Diedrich back in for Scheibelhut. All right, 54-52. And it's officially sweaty palms time here inside Ersprung Gymnasium. And Effect on the left side of the key, kicks to Diedrich. Casey Hughes to her right. Thought she had an opening, cuts back to her left, and she got blocked. Foul on the Crusaders is their 4th this quarter. It's on Erica Linder, her first. Effect grabs the inbound quickly. Back to Diedrich. We've only got 2:15 left in regulation. Effect catch and shoot, and Hannah hits the 3 ball. Eight points for Effect, but more importantly, the Jacket lead is back to 5. Cassidy Bosch bounces to the right side. Stone Rock up top to Burns. 5 to shoot. Emma Burns with 2 to shoot. Well short. We get a foul underneath the basket. The Yellow Jackets were asking for the shot clock violation, but apparently the foul occurred before the buzzer went off. Now hold on a second. The referees are going to get together here and make sure that that foul should stand. And Sherry Harrer wants a 30-second timeout. Well, she had 4 to use, so she may as well take one here and make sure they handle the inbounds play, because Capital's been pretty effective drawing up good sets on the inbounds. It's Baldwin Wallace 57, Capital 52 with 1:37 left in the 4th quarter. On the men's scoreboard, remember the Yellow Jackets beat Capital here on this floor last night, 60-47. The other 4 men's games today, 2 are complete. Otterbein beat Muskingum by 15, 86-71. John Carroll knocked off Ohio Northern, 85-72. Halfway through the second half, Marietta is beating Wilmington 56-41. And with 5 minutes gone in the second half, tight game, Heidelberg 36, Mount Union 33. Again, those are men's scores. On the ladies' side, Otterbein is going to beat Muskingum. Wilmington has an 8-point lead on Marietta with 90 seconds to go. Heidelberg already beat Mount Union, and Ohio Northern leads John Carroll by 7 with less than a minute to play. That could be the big upset of the day. Capital doesn't turn it over on the inbound, despite the fact that didn't look pretty. Burns with 125, pops a jumper, it bounces over the rim. Reagan Stonerock got hacked. Well, Reagan Stonerock goes to the free throw line, where on the season she's been pretty good. And she easily hits the first one. If you're going to foul someone, if you're Baldwin Wallace, I'm not sure this is the young lady you want to put at the line. And she hits them both. For her career, she's been a pretty good free throw shooter in the second half of her career. The Yellow Jackets by 3 with 1:15. Gabby Garrett. Hannah Fecht. 7 to shoot, less than a minute to play. Fecht with 3 to shoot. Back to Diedrich. It's a long, deep, open 3. And Capital gets the miss. They need a 3 to tie it with 45 seconds to play. Can the Yellow Jackets survive? Tap horn to the right. Burns with 35 seconds down 3. Crusaders don't need a 3 here. They go to Watchman from the left baseline. Stonerock buries it. Timeout, Crusaders. 57-56 BW with 26.8 on the clock. There is a lot of time remaining. Capital with 2 timeouts left at their disposal, and the Yellow Jackets still have 3 in their pocket. That's a huge basket for Reagan Stonerock because it gives Capital some real legitimate life. And wouldn't you know it, this game feels a whole lot like it did a year ago when BW had to hang on by the skin of their teeth to beat these Crusaders here at home. Jackets have hit 32% from the floor, but 8 2-balls and 11 3-pointers have them 1 ahead of Capital right now. Both teams have shot really well from the free throw line today. Jackets will do the full court, run the baseline inbound. Fecht, Schill, Hughes, Garrett, and Diedrich. And now Sherry Harrer calls another timeout. It's just a 30-second stoppage, and she wants to bring it up into the forecourt. All right. So it looks like now they will inbound in the front court instead of the back court. Perhaps Coach Harrer just wanted to see how Capital was going to come out and play defense there before changing her mind. A win today would send BW to 10-1 on the season and keep them in good shape at 4-0 in conference play. They might be all alone in first place in the league by the end of the day, with Ohio Northern leading John Carroll by 6 and 14 seconds left in that game. Shot clock is off. Capital needs a steal or they'll have to foul. Gets it into Riley Schill, and they foul her quickly. 25.6. That seems like a lot of time to have run off the clock. I think it was at 28.6. Unless I'm misremembering. Well, they're not going to adjust the time, and Riley Schill hits the first free throw. This will make it a 3-point game. And the 9th best free throw shooting team in America has come up big today. Timeout Crusaders, 59-56. The Jackets have hit 10 out of 11 from the stripe today. Capital pretty good too, 10 of 13. Both teams going to make some defensive changes, and the end of this game will lengthen out a bit here as they do everything they can to give themselves chances on both ends. Well, not a big surprise. Dixie Jeffers and Sherry Harrer are truly two of the all-time greatest coaches in Division III women's basketball history, anywhere in the country. And most of the time, when their two teams take the floor, you're in for a treat. And whether you're a Capital fan or a BW fan watching along, this has been a very competitive game, albeit at times a little frustrating for both sides. As Capital down 3 has a chance. It's Caroline Taphorn, a young lady from Harrison, Ohio. 18 seconds to go, down 3. Burns, rejected by Diedrich. Baldwin Wallace with free throws here could put this one on ice. Riley Schill takes care of the first. And the second. 4 Riley Schill free throws in the final 30 seconds of this game have given BW a decisive advantage here, 61-56, as Capital burns a full timeout. There's only 11.6 seconds remaining. Capital down 5. It's not over yet, but they are certainly in a tough spot. Wilmington is going to beat Marietta today. They're up 10 with 20 seconds to go. Otterbein has just beaten Muskingum. And Ohio Northern finished off John Carroll 62-55. So with a victory, Baldwin Wallace would be at 4-0 in conference play along with the Otterbein Cardinals. But the Jackets at 10-1 overall would have a better record. Looking forward to seeing those Otterbein Cardinals and the John Carroll Blue Streaks. Otterbein comes here Saturday afternoon next weekend. First meeting with John Carroll will be across town in University Heights on Wednesday, January 22nd. Taphorn will inbound. Capital down 5 with 11.6. And actually, it'll be Cassidy Bosch to inbound now. Watchman. Taphorn. Skip to the basket. Gabby Garrett. It's a jump ball. Wow. I'm not sure I agree with that. Garrett had inside positioning and was coming down with the ball. 4.8 on the clock. It's deflected. Stone Rock for 3. No. And Hensel grabs a rebound. Baldwin Wallace survives. 61-56. It was far from BW's best performance, but good enough to win at home today against Capital. And they beat the Crusaders by 5 to move to 10-1 on the year. 4-0 in conference play. Capital falls to 7-4. They are 2-2 in the OAC. How about a career day for Megan Hensel? Ties her career high with 13 points. Riley Schill finished with 13 thanks to the 4 foul shots that she hit at the end of the game. Capital and BW, two good teams that are certainly going to be part of the equation for OAC postseason tournament success, no doubt about that. Yellow Jackets ended up shooting 32% in the contest. They did it, including a second quarter where they hit 2 of 17. But they played good enough defense and were able to hold off, again, a pretty good Capital team. So the final score today, BW 61, Capital 56. 17 points for Emma Burns, 11 for Reagan Stonerock, and 10 for Ellie Watchman led the way for the Crusaders. I'm Brendan Gulick. Hope to see you on Wednesday night when the Yellow Jackets host the Mount Union Purple Raiders. It's a rematch of the OAC Men's Championship from last year. Hope you can join us here in Berea. Jackets a 5-point winner this afternoon.